after that, I came back after completion of my post graduation, and then finally I joined one professor. He's quite a senior scientist actually from BRC, Mumbai, India. And from since then, yes, I'm working under it. So we are doing a lot of research from last almost almost like 3 years. It is almost, uh, and we are
So,
working on,
so
yeah,
you are still working with him?
yes. Yeah,
Is it
yes.
what is the position that you are working in?
Yeah, so I'm a core researcher, by the way.
Okay, okay.
And yeah, so and I'm basically a joint contributor and a co-investigator in many
So,
of his projects.
is it like a permanent position or just a project based?
No, it's a project based, but it is all official. It's all official, and yes. So basically, we are working on many projects, but two of them, I guess, I have already given you in my CV. I cannot
Mhm.
disclose the other one because
That's fine.
they are still, yes, they are still under research.
No,
So we are work.
you don't have to tell me everything. You
Yes,
just tell me a little bit. I don't need to know the details.
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
yes, and yes. So one was related to nuclear power plant. We have pursued a lot of research, and one was related to very high-speed transportation system. Technically, it doesn't exist in the world. Both of the technologies,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, I cannot disclose much about it. But yes, it is quite strong, and my plans are basically to implement these two projects
Mm-hmm.
for in future, right? So I've already described in my mail, and regarding that, I've provided two questions related to that only. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yes, it's a quite big task, and I want to plan myself in that direction because it's I know that it is not an easy thing. It's a very it is going to be very tough. Okay, so I understand because I don't see from the perspective of like I'm a student or a researcher. I have to think like some sort of professional. Okay, and I need to know how to design each and everything, whether it's a nut or it's a bolt of that thing, whether it's a technical report or non-technical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so these are I'm aiming, and it is going to be not just it is not just a personal project. We are actually looking for building nationally and then maybe further for an international project also.
Okay.
That is quite. It is maybe it is from now. It is possibly 10 to 15 years from now. So that kind of because the project I'm talking about is very huge projects. Lots of professional engineers, lot of professional chief scientists, chief engineers. They have to literally uh, guide in that direction to take care of these projects. So it's a big project. And let's see. We are basically want to contribute these to humanity because that is more the first priority we should always look for, right? And yeah, so apart from this, I have a lot of failures also, and but I enjoyed my failures. Okay, so I failed a lot of times in my life, but every time I failed, what I understood is that yes, it is a part of life. It happens. It's the up and downs are just part of life. And whenever I fail, so then I take myself and to a much greater level. So where I can strong my how to say inner motivation. I can do myself. I can basically do a self motivate. Can do a can perform a self motivating of myself.
Ayush,
So
let me
yeah,
stop you here. Okay.
yes, yes,
So let me, I'm here to help you, right?
yes.
So I'm going to be very straightforward with you
Okay.
here. So, you have been talking to last 3, 4 minutes, and I did not understand what you're trying to tell me or help me.
Okay.
What I want you to do is, this is a career advising session, right? So
Yes.
I'm not interested in what you have done. I'm more interested in where you are having trouble and how to get
Okay.
out from it. And I want a very straightforward answer. I don't
Okay.
want to be subjective, so that, because I can, otherwise the time will be gone and I won't be able to help you.
Yes.
So
Okay.
what I
Okay.
want you to do is, it's very straightforward. Okay, Amit, this is what I have done. I understand what you have done. You have done great projects. You are doing some great thing. All that is fine. But you are having some trouble. That's the reason we are talking, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I need to know those precisely.
Okay. Okay. So
So
basically,
why are you here talking with me? What
yes.
is the reasons? And if the reason, so here is the thing. If you tell me, Amit, I'm having a problem with my research, I can't do this experiment. That's a separate conversation, which is not for this
Yes.
session, right?
Yes. Obviously.
Right.
Obviously. Yes.
So I need to know those questions. I need to hear those questions from you. And if
Yes.
I can hear them, then I can tell you a very straightforward answer, so
Okay.
that you can make a better decision. Right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. No,
Yes. So 4 points I will discuss,
go
which
ahead.
are four questions. Okay.
Mhm.
The first question is how do you improve my PhD application, because
Okay.
I've applied to many universities, and
Mhm.
yes, due to COVID
Where?
also, and
Where?
uh, I cannot disclose that, but
No, no,
these
just
are
tell.
top.
No, no, what I'm
Yes.
saying, again, you don't have to tell me. When I say where, I mean in Japan, in UK, in,
Yes, in Europe, in
okay.
Europe side.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and
Okay.
yes, and in European countries, and yes, I've been rejected by many
Mhm.
universities
Okay.
till date. Yes, and I still doesn't understand where I'm lacking.
Okay.
Right. So
Mhm.
it will be really like kind of you, if you can help me that way, from whether saying from my CV, or what kind of more application I required in order to enter into this for this PhD program, right? And I'm
So,
much interested in the nuclear engineering, basically, in
mhm.
PhD or D engineering, basically
Mhm.
in nuclear. Yeah.
So what I understood, your one of the biggest question you are having is, you are having trouble getting an admission into a
Yes.
PhD program, and I'm assuming that has nothing to do with COVID, because you graduated in 2017, and I
Yes.
believe you are applying since then.
No, in 2017, actually, I have not applied because I took
Did you apply in
uh,
2018?
2018. Yes, I did it, and
Okay.
then
Did you apply in 2019?
2019. Yes, yes,
Okay,
I
so
did.
it has nothing to do with COVID then.
Yeah,
That's what
right.
I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And you applied only to Europe. They had nothing to do with Japan or Korea or US, Canada, or did you
No,
apply anywhere else too?
no. Actually, I'm interested to go to Europe. Actually,
Okay.
I'm not in it because of some reasons.
Okay.
They
No,
have.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
this
Yes.
one. Okay. Okay. And so let me tell you a couple of things. So here's the thing: is I'm not an expert of European universities, since I have done most of my education in US, right?
Yes.
So if you would have asked me, should I apply to US, my answer would be straightforward, and in your case would be probably no. Don't
Mhm.
do that. And the simple reason is because the type of work you are doing, I'm not sure that that it is acceptable here, to be honest. And because you have done some work in Russia also, which is related to nuclear engineering and all that, it may not be. It you will have a trouble in visas, big trouble. So
Mhm.
that's very simple. And other thing, I don't know about your scores, how much scores, what are your scores, what you got, right?
So it's quite high.
Right. So if your scores are good, if your recommendations are fine, your CV looks fine to me, to be honest with you. Your CV is you have a good CV. I don't think you have anything against your CV. And in Europe,
Okay.
you don't need GRE, right?
Yes, we don't need it.
You need TOEFL or something, I think.
Yes, yes. TOEFL is basic, but I know that I guess for a PhD also, I guess TOEFL is not required. For masters, it is. Yes, for masters, it is.
Yeah. So So again, coming back to the point, my feeling is the biggest trouble you are having is just because of the type of work you are involved in.
Okay.
That's my feeling. Whether it's Europe or anywhere else, I think the work you are doing, especially the places you have been associated with, um, whether it's in Russia, whether it's in India,
Yeah.
it's difficult. And I can tell you one of my past experience in this case. So we,
Okay.
when I was doing my PhD, we had a person that applied from DRDO, BARC actually, for PhD
Yes.
program.
Mhm.
The professor accepted him, but the embassy rejected his visa. So
Okay.
my question to back you to again is, most of this work, what you're
Yes.
doing, let's say if I see in US also or in Europe, it will be given or done by their citizens strictly.
Yes.
Even in US, if I'm a foreigner, I'm not a US citizen, I'm not allowed to do this work, kind of a work.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, that could be a very potential reason for in your
Okay.
case.
Possible. Okay. Okay.
Okay, and the reason I say so is because you have been applying for 2 3 years now, and
Yeah.
if it's not working you out,
Yes.
what the reason I said is could be one
Yes.
reason.
Okay.
Oth- and I think this is the one of the biggest reason, to be honest with you. But other than, I don't see a reason why you are having a trouble. Um, Usually, most of the people, if you see most of the people that go out
Yes.
to do their PhD, and I think that's what you are trying to do, right?
Yes.
That go out to do their PhD. The biggest number of people from India go to US,
Mhm.
right? Then after, probably after that they to go to Canada or UK, but Australia. But the number of people that go there are very small. That's
Yes.
number one. Number two, even if you go to Europe for your PhD, let's say you were able to secure an admission, I'm not sure that there are enough scholarship for students there too, because US is very in that terms US is very US has a lot of opportunities because of number of intake they have. If you are a PhD student in US, 100% you are guarantees as in a scholarship, almost 99, let's not say 100%, but almost 99%. Okay, but again, I think
Okay.
in my opinion, what the problem you are having is the type of work you are involved in, to be honest with you. I don't see any other reason right now. And
Yeah.
it is happening again and again. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Probably, I guess you're correct because these kind of works related to nuclear it's not how do you say it is more like a confidential thing also. So a lot of things, a lot of undergoing things happening. But
No, the
yes,
only
maybe you're absolutely right.
the,
Maybe it is
the
possible.
no, it's not. I think that is the only reason I see it, because I can tell you from US perspective, if you apply and if they see you have done your masters as Russian military and all that, and that's what you're doing, the answer would be no, straightforward.
Okay.
Because again,
Okay.
the and then you will have a trouble later on also, to be honest with you. I mean, if, let's say you are able to come and you're doing your visa, guys will screw you up big way.
Okay. Okay.
That's so just to tell you the reason, these are some of the potential reasons. And
Okay.
you can ask people who work at bark or someone, just ask them if they have a conference they have to go to US, how much trouble they have. They have huge trouble like getting visas and all that. My
Okay.
advice to you would be honestly, my advice to you would be is, since you are already in India and you have been doing work with all these people, I I I I strongly recommend you to, apply to some good Indian universities like ISCs or somewhere, if you really want to do PhD, and do your PhD there. And I'm pretty sure you will be able to find a job in Bark or somewhere else. But if you ask me on that, again, that's another thing, because you, even if you have a one success, let's say you were able to secure an admission to at least one university or two, But this is happening so many times now, and this is happening for 1 year or 2 year. And according to you, what I hear is you're not having success. This to me is such a red flag. I won't try again. I'm wasting my time. So put it this way, the reason I tell you this thing is, since you are already trying this thing for last 2 years or 3 years, so forth,
Yeah.
and you're not able to secure an admission, last 2 3 years, whatever you have done are going to go to waste. And the type of job you are involved in, if you have a permanent job, that's fine. But if you have not, if the job is project based, the job has no meaning, to be honest. And you need to move quickly.
Yes. Yes.
So honestly, I only see two things. One is, if you really love what you do, I
Mhm.
would say don't think too much. There are good universities in India too. You can, if you are able to secure admission, as I said, in some IITs or ISCs, that's way good, to be honest with you. And you will have much more opportunities in terms of jobs and anywhere in a good places in India too. Because again, as I said, your CV in that particular area, I think, is pretty good. It doesn't mean that it is able to help you to secure an admission to a place, because the type of work you do,
Yes.
that's number
Yes.
one. And number two is, if if you say, I'm sick and tired of it, I don't want to do this anymore, then you need to switch your then you need to completely make a makeover of your career, switch completely, which really means, like, just go and do an MBA, move out.
Great. Okay. Okay.
So that's the only two things I see. But if you gonna be there, and if you're gonna do the same mistake again and again, because of COVID, your problem is gonna be 100 times now. Because that's what I ask you. I think your problem
Yes.
has
Yes.
nothing to do
Definitely.
with COVID.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah. So that these are the only two options I see in your case. Either you probably join a PhD program, or go for an MBA here or somewhere else. Even if you go for an MBA somewhere else, that I'm pretty sure you will be able to secure an admission. That's not a problem. But again, I'm not sure that if you go for visas, what they feel about, because they're going to ask you again same questions, where you have been and all that, and what you have done, and so forth. So that could be an issue, because your passport will have stamp from Russia and all that.
okay.
So that,
Understood. Mhm.
yeah. So that could be thing. But as I said, your CV is concerned, and the whatever work you are doing, and I don't see a problem there. But the only issue here is the work you are involved in. So
Okay. 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 I will move to the second question.
sure.
Yeah. So, related to second question, actually, I was working on basically two technologies. One is related to transportation system, and one is related to reactor. I just told you about it. So, my aim is to develop these in next 15 to 20 years, let's say. Okay. And how should I build up myself in that? Yeah.
I mean, anything you're gonna do gonna require capital,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Definitely.
So that's what I'm saying is, you have to. So I have, put it this way, I have ideas to build next generation aeroplane.
Mhm.
It's the same question.
No, this is not an just some brain idea. It is actually yeah, there's a lot of research has been done on it.
No, no,
So
no.
that is why.
You didn't understand my question. Nobody is gonna pay you because you know something. Do you have a
Uh,
product in hand? So let's say I have this pen in hand. People
yes,
gonna pay it because I have it, right?
yes, yes,
So
yes.
if you have shown a prototyping, if you have shown some results, if you have shown a prototype that can work, people will be interested in looking at it. But if you say, I have ideas on papers, right, and
No,
I
no,
know this is gonna work.
No, no, we have a prototype of it. We have a
Yeah.
prototype of it. Yes.
So if you have a prototype, then you have to get out and seek out the funds from people who are interested in it. There are people, there are places, there are incubation centers where people go and talk it out. So for example, if you go to IIT Bombay, they have an incubation center there, which they allow people to come and work, and they give them a space and everything. And then you can say, okay, this is my prototype, this is my thing that I am interested in. And I spoke to one girl who was working on a project at that incubation center about a month back. So there are places, then you have to look for a venue. But if you're just gonna go there, is I have this idea on paper, right? And this is the thing I have. I am not sure how useful it is, but if you have a if you have a if you have something in your hand, a concept, or a prototype that you can show people, which then those people are interested in that prototype.
Yeah.
That's the first part. But there are places, as I told you, where you can go and show it out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and now I will come quickly to the third question. How to basically, I want to know how to basically make a very effective R&D proposal, these project proposals, especially to a level I'm talking about to be submitted for ministry level. I'm not talking about to the institution.
That I can't answer that, but I know there are only two ways that you can submit a proposals, R&D
Okay.
proposals. One is if if you go to a funding agency website, they have proposals out there on the specific questions, specific problems, right? So you have to target those proposals, or you shape a proposal. Shaping a proposal means you talk to a program manager of that funding institution and say, hey, I have a really good idea, and why this idea is a good idea, why, how this can help you. And once the program manager get convinced, then he and she can release some funds and say, okay, I think this is a really good thing, you have done some work, here's the money for you. But then you need to know the program manager at that funding institution.
Yes.
So very in a short answer, what I'm trying to tell you is you can't go to a chief minister and say, give me money. It doesn't work that way. The way it
Yes.
works, you have to go to a funding agency. That funding
Yes.
agency could be, in India, I don't know, a Department of Education or Department of Science and Technology,
Yes.
DST or whatever.
DSGs.
Then,
Yeah.
yeah.
DSGs. Yeah.
So you have to go there and say, can I talk to a program manager who is taking care of high speed transportation, or who takes care of that area? And then, or you go to their website and they have, so if you look at these professors, for example, right, they apply for funding and somebody have projects on hydrogen cars, somebody have projects on this and that. How they do that? It's the same thing, right? So you go and you say, okay, these are the people. So what they do is they have they go to those department website where there is a broad agency announcement, we call it BA, and you go to those BAs and say, okay, what are the areas they covered? Can I fit in there? But most of these BAs are very much also um, targeted for universities. They can't give fund to you because you are not associated
Yes.
permanently with the institution,
Yes.
especially if you are working for a national lab or so. And second thing, you have to have a PhD sometimes. There are, I don't
Yes.
know in India, but in US, we have this SBIRs, where is basically, it's called, I forgot the full name of it, but it is basically, just one second. Yeah, so basically, yeah, SBIR. So it's a basically your small business innovation research, SBIR. So you have to look out whether in India you have a similar thing, right? So what is basically this is
Okay.
SBIRs
Yeah.
are, they give money to small businesses So let's say if you have a company and that company does something, so they give money to small businesses so that they can work with universities or some other agencies and grow their ideas. And those are the perfect platform, to be honest, where if let's say you have an idea, you submit a proposal through SBIRs. I don't know what they call it in India, so you have to figure that out. And that if the agency says, okay, this is a good idea, we would like to fund you, they can fund you, and you have to submit your idea, your cost and everything, and based on what phase you are in, so they can give you money for phase one. If you are a success, then it goes to phase two and phase three. And most of the companies in US, smaller companies, whether it's Google, whether it's any company, has that's how they have made a success. So it is to basically to help a person who have idea. So let's say if you have an idea, those SBIRs are usually the right places where you can go and find money. And so you have to look at whether for small businesses, do these agencies have any programs to support them? Okay.
Yeah.
But again, you have to understand one thing, Ayush, is you always keep on saying, I have this is a big idea and that a big idea. This is, you need to understand that it's not about you, it's about the other person who's thinking,
Yes, yes, definitely.
right? So
Yes,
you just keep that in mind. Think like a customer. Don't think that you have a big idea. I'm not saying it may not be a big idea, but think like a customer, because a small idea for a customer could be of a very important value. And
yes.
maybe your big idea is of no value. Okay. So think like a
Mhm.
customer. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we have already done with all the questions already. I have specific question wait for this. So we have only 2 minutes left, I guess.
No, no, that's fine. You can go ahead. I have a couple of more minutes. Go ahead.
Yes. So okay. Actually, these projects now it is not going to happen as a small startup company or a small business sector, because these are not that simple. I know about it. I've talked to a lot of people. And it is okay. I understand that people are talking about small business sectors, and they want to develop. For example, you want to develop a small bike or a car. That is okay for. But the projects I'm talking about it is a very national level project, so it is not that easy, and that is why it is going to take a lot of time, even for me, even for some other people, like even after me, possibly. So it is going to take 3 to 4 decades minimum. It's uh, very high task project. I doesn't have that kind of knowledge. I'm not a chief engineer, but yes, yes, still I'm learning it. And it has to be implemented. It has to be implemented. Otherwise, in future, I don't know what is going to happen, because it has to be contributed somehow to humanity. I don't know how it's going to work, but yes, obviously, it will take a lot of time and effort. Definitely, a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, you don't, you, for you in particular, I would say, you can't jump from doing, I want to do this and then I want to do this. And you need to figure it out first. See, here's the thing. So I will give you an example, okay, of two people. Okay. One example is of a typical person who does his education and go for a job and do his own thing. Okay. Like everybody does, right? Then you, just for example, myself, right? I did study, I am doing a job, and that's how I make my money. And then I can think about something, doing something different, right? Because I have a stable source of money, and I'm comfortable now, then I can take care of it. That's one
Yes.
kind of a person. The other kind of a person is Elon Musk, for example, right? Where he says, I don't care about the money. I know the idea is I want to launch cars, I want to launch a spaceship and all that. But so talking to you, you talk like Elon Musk, right? Okay.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
talk like Elon Musk. But my point here is are you, do you have the knowledge and the courage to proceed like him? That you have to understand.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
because the reason I say very simply is there are two things. So you have to understand, when I say you talk like Elon Musk, okay, you may be one Elon Musk one day, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to tell you is, do you know where he came from?
Way back I have learned about him, but I didn't remember.
He came from South Africa.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, South Africa. Yes, yes, yes.
okay, he
I
was
remember.
born there. Do you know the why he moved to US?
No idea.
Because he knew even if he had big ideas, the South Africa, he won't be able to do anything. That's number one.
Okay. Yes.
Number two, what he did after that? Did he
Okay.
started building a space company?
No, definitely. He, I guess, started with some computer programming,
So, exactly. So
small
he
scale,
made
small scale.
why he did that? To generate.
Capital, basically. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I know.
again,
Yeah.
so same goes for you.
Okay.
That's what I said, where the capital is going to come from.
Yes,
So you
definitely.
may have a big idea, maybe you have a really great idea, but you have to bring the capital and bring the credibility to say, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve. If you're going to just sit there, right, work for someone and think of big ideas, they're going to go down the drain and you will get frustrated. And I can write you right away after 1 year I talk to you, if you're not going to move out, okay, and you're
Yes,
going to
yes.
talk about the same big ideas, nobody's going to listen to you, you're going to get frustrated. So first thing first, you need to sort out what you want to do, where you want to do. You think Elon Musk had a big ideas, if you would have stayed in South Africa, he would have been so successful? Absolutely not.
Okay,
That's
okay.
my point. So either you, when where you are, you need to find a place where you can, or where you can first of all are comfortable enough that you can say, okay, I can think about these big ideas, but also I have to care about myself, where, who's going to pay for my food, where the money is going to come from.
Yes, obviously.
My big ideas are somebody's going to